Namweemba, and I'm going to be giving you today's devotional under our theme of transformation. Our scripture today comes from Luke chapter 19, verses 1 to 10, and these scriptures tell us the story of a man named Zacchaeus. And I'm going to be reading from verse 5 and from verse 8. Verse 5 is, when Jesus reached the spot, he looked up and said to him, Zacchaeus, come down immediately. I must stay at your house today. And verse 8 says, but Zacchaeus stood up and said to the Lord, look, Lord, here now I give half of my possessions to the poor. And if I've cheated anybody out of anything, I will pay them back 4 times the amount. I think this story is one of my favorite in the Bible. And it's because of how immediate and how drastic the change is from before somebody met Jesus to after. Before Zacchaeus met Jesus, he was a cheater. He was a tax collector, stole people's money. So he was a thief, he was a liar, he was greedy. After he meets Jesus, he becomes a generous man that's willing to give half of his possessions to the poor. And he becomes honest, willing to acknowledge all the lies that he has told and pay back what he stole from people 4 times as much. He doesn't just change on face value or with words. He backs that up with action. And this change isn't triggered by Jesus demanding anything from Zacchaeus or coercing him in any way. All Jesus does is see Zacchaeus trying, see Zacchaeus where he is, and come into his life, regardless of where Zacchaeus stands, regardless of what Zacchaeus has done in his past. And I feel like a lot of us believe that we need to fix ourselves before we get to Jesus, and that's just not the case. With this story, we see Zacchaeus going to Jesus just as the tax collector he was. And he didn't even go to Jesus with the expectation of having his whole life turned around. If you read the story, you see that he was just curious to see who this Jesus everybody is talking about is. And he faced a problem. He faced opposition. He was short. He was disadvantaged naturally. He didn't ask to be short. He didn't ask for the crowd to be there, but he was disadvantaged. And a lot of us in a situation like that would turn around and be like, this isn't for me. Oh no, I don't need to do this. We'd make excuses. But Zacchaeus didn't do that. He went above and beyond to see who Jesus was and ran ahead of the crowd, climbed the tree because he knew Jesus was going to pass there. How many of us are willing to take that extra step to try, to see Jesus, to meet him? Even a glimpse of him. He didn't even think Jesus was going to talk to him. That wasn't his intention. But he did. Jesus saw him trying. Jesus saw him.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, Brave Volume